Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and here are the best new games releasing in August 2026 that you need to know about. And guys, there are some big ones this month. Whether you're looking for a new survival horror, a fighting game, Souls-like, or something to sink your teeth into, I've got you covered. Oh, and if you do like gaming, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new here. And first up is Beast of Reincarnation, which is basically Game Freak's way of saying, by the way guys, we can do something totally different to Pokemon. And well, this is what they've come up with. So this is a new single-player action RPG set in a post-apocalyptic Japan in the year 4026. And this is where the world has been taken over by something called the Blight. You play as Emma, who's been infected by it but can also use its power. She's got a dog or a dog-like creature called Ku, and the two of them are basically outcasts or survivors against the world. Now as the two of them explore, they come up against loads of different enemies like machines, these massive creatures, and of course boss battles which look brutal. But fortunately, there's loads of weapons and upgrades that you can unlock and apply as you play through. And Ku isn't just here to look cute either. He can pin enemies down and use special attacks on groups to help you out, all while you're taking on the sword fighting, parrying and dodges. And I've got to say, visually this looks so nice. I do love a post-apocalyptic game, but this is more vibrant than grey, with ruined cities and red forests, more nature than anything else. This drops on the PS5, Xbox Series and PC on August 4th, and it's going to be on Game Pass day one. And next up, we've got the Sinking City 2, which I kind of feel like we've been waiting years for this to drop, but it's finally coming this month. Now, a few weeks ago, I actually watched some early gameplay access from the Rad Brad, and it was initially giving me Max Payne vibes, but it took a very dark turn quite quickly. So this is a survival horror game set in a flooded city where everything is kind of falling apart. But can I say how good this world or the city looks? Like proper creepy and eerie looking. There are strange creatures crawling out of the shadows, and anyone who's actually still alive has pretty much lost their mind by now. Now, the first game was more about detective work, whereas this one is more about the horror side of things. Far more exploration around the city and then managing your resources. But I absolutely love the atmosphere that they've shown so far with the flooded streets and the abandoned buildings. I think this is definitely one of those games that could easily slip under the radar. But after you've watched a little bit of gameplay or the trailer, I would say it's worth having it in the top 10 for this month. So this drips onto the PS5, Xbox Series and PC on August 18th. And one of the most underrated game series is getting a prequel this month, and that is Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. And this is the third game now in the series, and it is set 15 years before the first game. So instead of following Amicia and Hugo, you are now playing as Sophia before the events of the main game. Now you might remember her from Requiem because she was the pirate who helped the siblings later on, but it's great now that we get to see how she became that person in the first place. Now this is still very much an action-adventure game, but it looks like they've tweaked the combat a little bit this time. And that means Sophia is quicker, more experienced, and actually wants to fight when she has to. So we're getting loads of sword combat, crossbows, puzzles, and climbing through the ruins. And you know what? Seeing this one now, I'm actually pleased they didn't make just another sequel. It's great to see a new story from a different point of view. So this is going to drop onto the PS5, Xbox Series and PC on August 27th, and it will be on Game Pass day one. Then we've got Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, and this is a new 4v4 tag team fighting game, and there is absolutely no way you've not seen this one yet. I feel like there has been a lot of marketing and trailers for this absolutely everywhere, plus of course the recent public beta. And as I said, it's a 4v4 tag team game, but set in the Marvel universe. So there's Spider-Man bouncing around the screen, Iron Man firing missiles, Captain America no doubt throwing his shield, and pretty much all of the usual characters that you would expect to see. And instead of going for that ultra-realistic art style, they've gone for this over-the-top anime cartoon style. And even if you're not really a fighting game player, this isn't a hardcore fighting game like we have from some of the other games out there. This is going to be more about picking up the controller and just having some fun. Now, not only does this support online co-op play in those 1v1 matches, it also supports local couch co-op, which is perfect for these type of games. And this is going to launch onto the PS5 and PC on August 6th, and this is one I'm excited for. And Star Wars Zero Company is not the Star Wars game I was expecting, but the more I've seen, the more it's kind of grown on me. So this is a single-player turn-based strategy game, not a first-person game like you might have hoped and expected to see. So if you're thinking lightsaber combats, this isn't really that. But what this is you leading an elite squad through missions during the Clone Wars, choosing who to bring, how to get everyone out alive, and more about strategy. Now in this game, the story follows Hawks, a former Republic officer who's been put in charge of Zero Company, a group of specialists or more like misfits that really shouldn't be working together. You've got clone troopers, smugglers, Jedi, bounty hunters, all thrown into the same team. Totally different to just having a squad of clones and then calling it a day. But what's pretty cool with this is you can customize the squad, build classes, upgrade equipment, and apparently the choices you make during the missions actually affect how the team develops over the rest of the campaign. So if you're looking for a new Star Wars game this month, or maybe something totally different, Zero Company launches on August 27th on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Now, one of my all-time favourite franchises is Mafia. The story, the cinematics, and there's something about being able to free roam around New York City, or more recently Sicily, that just does it for me. Well, this month we are getting the Man of Honor DLC. And instead of it simply feeling like a handful of extra missions bolted onto the end, this is going to expand the old country story with the 2 brand new chapters following Enzo. It's going to be set during the middle of the base game, but with a 1-year time jump. Now, we've only seen a sneak peek so far, but what we are going to get are 2 new chapters, new locations, new weapons, and new vehicles, plus new free ride content as well. Now, you will need the base game to play it, but the DLC is only going to cost $10 or £10. That is unreal. And that's going to be on the PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on August 14th. Mortal Shell is back with its second game in the series, and this looks so much bigger and better than the original, and it almost makes the first game look like a demo compared to what we're getting now. And to think that this is an indie game as well. So it's a dark fantasy action RPG, but unlike some of the Souls-like games out there, the big hook here is the shell system. So instead of creating just one character and then sticking with that throughout your entire playthrough, you can take over the bodies of the fallen warriors throughout the world. So each shell or form that you take, I guess, has different strengths and weaknesses, which sort of changes the game up. And the world isn't just a few connected areas anymore. There are larger regions to explore, more bosses, deeper progression, and loads more weapons. On top of that, it looks absolutely brutal and straight up nightmare material. I think this is one of those games that again could slip under the radar as it's not a AAA game and might not get the hype that it deserves. So Mortal Shell 2 will smash us on August 20th on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Metal Gear Solid is getting the Master Collection Volume 2 this month, and this includes both Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots and Peace Walker, both in one bundle for current consoles and PC. Now, both games have been updated with visual bumps and better resolutions, smoother performance, and a few quality of life improvements as well. So you can finally sneak through the military bases as Snake or Big Boss in HD instead of what looks like 240p. Now, I know we had Volume 1 back in 2023, so it's nice to see that they've dropped this one on August 27th. This will be on the PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, and PC. Okay, then we have Hell Let Loose Vietnam, which was originally going to launch in June but got delayed until August after the playtest, so hopefully they've ironed out any issues by now. If you've ever played games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, well, this one is completely different to those. This is a full-on 50v50 tactical military shooter, where it's more about teamwork rather than run and gun Rambo style. We've got this Vietnam setting with these wide open fields and trenches, hiding in the thick jungles, abandoned villages, rivers, and enemies in pretty much every direction. There's also no HUD and no unicorn skin, so it's not trying to be a fast-paced arcade game. So if you're looking for something a little bit more grounded, with this sort of atmosphere and focused on teamwork, Hell Let Loose Vietnam shoots onto the PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on August 13th. And Duskfade could be one of those hidden gems worth checking out this month. So it's a new 3D action platformer that's given me early 2000s PS2 vibes. Big colourful world, loads of platforming, fast-paced combat, puzzles. Actually, reading up on this today, it said that it is inspired by games like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet & Clank, and I can totally see that as well. So you play as Zirion, I think that's how it's pronounced, this young apprentice who's trying to rescue his sister and restore time itself after the world has been consumed by an endless night. You're travelling across these different biomes, fighting creatures in the darkness, gradually becoming stronger and unlocking new abilities. And you know what? I love how colourful and carefree this looks too, with the forests, dunes, and even the underwater levels. I really think this is one to keep a look out for. So Duskfade drops on August 13th on PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch 2. And then here are a few bonus games that didn't make the top 10 today, but are definitely worth mentioning. So we've got Grounded 2 coming to the PS5 on August 11th, and this is the open world co-op survival game originally on Xbox. Big Walk is an open world co-op multiplayer game where there are no enemies, no bosses, it's just you and your friends solving puzzles and chatting. Looks proper chill to be honest, and this is out on August 4th. Agefield High Rock the School is dropping on PC on August 12th, and this is giving me budget PS2 Bully sequel vibes. It's an indie game based in the 2000s and looks ridiculously fun, and it's also coming to consoles later this year. And then we have Gamescom Opening Night Live on August 25th. This is the big game show where we get to see loads of upcoming games and new trailers, plus Gamescom itself in Germany if you want to get hands-on with those games. I'll be there again this year checking out what games are on show, so maybe I'll see some of you there. Okay, well that wraps it up. August is, once again pretty stacked. We've got horror games, shooters, RPGs and multiplayer, so surely there is definitely something here for everyone. Now for me, I'm looking forward to the Mafia DLC, the Sinking City and A Plague Tale. But what about you? Anything you're really hyped for or that I've missed today? Now drop a nice August games in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out this video next. Well, thanks for watching, please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.